yesterday, and when we were there, we were having a play date with one of her friends. So like her and her friend were there, and then there were a couple of really little kids. Like one of them was very much a toddler who's like still learning how to walk, and there were a couple that were like between like 2 and 5. So they were still pretty young kids. And then after some point, a bunch of teens show up, and they're like not causing an issue. They're just being dumb teenagers, which,
Yeah.
if anyone remembers, we were dumb teenagers at some point, and I know we were
yeah.
dumb because we were teenagers. And I say that with love in my heart for a lot of dumb teenagers, and shaking my fist quietly for some really dumb ones.
I mean, if it wasn't for dumb teenagers, we'd also not have a whole bunch of the bands that we have these days.
Yeah, exactly. But it was the funniest thing to see. I think it was 4 or 5 boys and then 2 girls, and it was so funny that like I definitely had this phase when I was that age of the 2 girls. They were like playing catch with a football, and then they'd be like, "Oh, okay, hey guys, we're gonna go wander over here to one of the other parts of the park," and all of them together would be like, "Oh, yeah, cool. We're gonna hang out over here." And then literally like 15 seconds later, they're just like dutifully following these 2 girls, and I was like, "Yeah, that's that age. I get it."
Yep.
But it was funny to see it as like someone who's turning 45 very soon, of like, "Yeah, man, that's just the age of like, yeah, man, cool. Yeah, we're gonna do our own thing."
The more they stay the same.
Yeah, exactly. Like, can't really get mad at them. And they were like horsing around in the playground a little bit, but like I was telling my wife later, I wasn't really mad at them because they weren't destroying anything and they weren't really being unsafe around the littles. So like I didn't really need to step in. And also there's like no place for them to go because they're at that perfect age of like playgrounds are for like 5 to 12-year-olds. You're not 21 or 18 yet. Every mall is dead. So like what are you supposed to do? And the answer is nothing, I guess.
Wherever you can, yeah.
Yeah, like find fun wherever you can. So I was like, I'm not gonna like make a big deal, or like if they're being unsafe, I would yell at them. But like they're just trying to have fun and like throw a football around a little bit. Like, how can you be mad about that?
I'm actually really glad that we did get the skate park finally built in my town.
Oh, nice.
Because like that thing's crowded every summer.
That's great.
And people are just like all kinds of people are just out there just screwing off, watching other people screw off. You see like kids go out there, and like you see the teenagers out there showing them how to like do like half pipes, or
That's
how to
cool.
start rolling and all that. It's like cool, yeah, and it's in the shade, so it's like cool. It's
right,
keeping you guys out of the heat. You guys can come out here. Like I wish I had that as a kid when I was skateboarding.
Yeah.
Instead of getting yelled at all the time for loitering.
Right. Oh man.
Oh, dude, if you were a skateboarding kid, you would have loved Liverpool because it's just ancient architecture all over the place. So there's so many spots to just grind on shit.
That's cool. All right, are you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to a brand new episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston. Join me as always is Moonpair.
Howdy.
And the Nip.
Hello.
Let's do a quick plug here for our Patreon page over at patreon.com/E1M1 or E1M1.cash.
Those ones are the numerical digit 1.
Get exclusive, uncensored, cool, great early stuff over there, like the weekly Uncensored Outcast. We're kind of talking about a whole bunch of stuff that's going on in our lives. Otherwise, you get early access to We Roguelike and Critical Misses. The $5 tier or higher, you get exclusive access to the Critical Misses production meeting, and The Wayward Sons, the supernatural TV show watchcast that Moon and Imp are going through. All of that and more at e1m1.cash.
The ones are numbers.
All right, Moon, let's start with you. What's your score update? And what have you been playing this past week?
La Poop. I forgot to get my score update. I know the first 3 digits. The first 3 digits is 802. So
Okay.
we'll just go 802,000 and we'll
That's
go
right.
from there. Yes, it's been a long week, guys.
Uh-huh.
Like
Big same.
like I sent you guys a text message on Monday. I was like, "Hey, this is happening on top of everything else that's happening." So
Yep.
you know, yeah, the fun for everyone. I've only really been playing 3 things. Vampire Crawlers, which is actually the Wii roguelike game. So if
Yep.
you're interested in that, go listen to that show.
Here, I have an official update for you. You ready?
Oh. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Okay.
Straight from the front.
802,060.
Okay. Okay.
Aww.
There you go.
And 60. No,
A little
and
guy.
60.
At least you got the 0 at the end. So I mean,
That's true.
you got that going for
Trust me,
it.
at this point, it's a 0 or a 5, or I'm shooting somebody. That's
right.
where we're at this point. If it wasn't for my double popped, like I would have had 800 clean, and I got so annoyed by that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Vampire Crawlers, go listen to We Roguelike It.
Yep.
Hades 2 is my new do a couple of floors and stop playing before bed
Okay.
game.
Nice.
I just unlocked minor spoiler alert for Hades, maybe Hades 2 specifically. I just unlocked the ability to get familiars, which I've only got the one so far. I know where the other ones are, but it's the only. I'm doing ups and downs now, but I haven't had a successful run yet.
Okay.
But it's just one of those games where it's like, yeah, I'll do like a floor or two, and then I'm just gonna save and quit. Hey, it's a roguelike where you can save and quit. Who would have thought?
We have the technology.
Shocking.
And we played
Yes, we
this
do.
on.
I wish more people would make use of it.
We played this on We Roguelike It, and you were. Are you starting it over on the Xbox version?
Yes,
Gotcha.
I have the file I'm currently playing on is the Xbox version of it.
Okay.
So I can do the play anywhere where I can load it on my Ally thing,
Right.
then switch over to switch over to my Xbox and play it there if I feel like it. But it's just my go-to, like, yeah, I'm just gonna mess around for a while kind of thing.
Yeah, like I'll play as much as I can, get in, get out.
Other than that, the only other thing I've been playing is Forza Horizon 6 with its super duper annoying grindy achievements. 2 of them specifically.
So I have this on my list too. I'll go after you.
You said there isn't, or you guys said last time that there isn't an all roads one. It's most of the roads.
Yes, there is not an all roads one. It's it's a uncover the fog of war one, which is just uncover enough of the maps to do it.
So what's more annoying than not finding that last gray pixel on such a massive map?
So it does a really good thing where, like, once you've cleared out like 75 to 80% of it, it just opens the whole thing up.
Yeah.
And it just uncovers it all. And it's like, there you go, you did it. Congratulations, you've explored the whole area.
Yeah, it's really fair.
You get the mercy rule on the achievement.
Yeah. Well, and like
100%.
A lot of the map is like empty farmland or mountains or like a hilly area that you might not be going across. So that like 75 to 80% feels really fair, because once you hit that point, you've probably done most, if not all, of the races. You've collected a lot of the boards and the mascots. Like, you've kind of done everything in the area. It's just open land you haven't been in. If you had to go clear all of that stuff, I think that would have been fairly miserable.
Yeah. And like I think it does a good job with that as well. As for that final like little one road, I don't know about that. I've collected all of the roads, despite saying I wasn't going to. I did.
It just happened.
So you'd have to ask friend of the show Rob how he feels about being at 670 roads out of 671.
Oh, no.
Oh, I was going to ask you, is there still a leadership board for it then? And that's
there is, yeah.
There is.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And some people get more frustrated than others by the lack of the one road, apparently.
That's
I'm
right.
just, you know, I'm just saying I'm better than Rob. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
It's all
The numbers don't lie.
one road. They don't. They clearly don't.
That's right. It's just science.
Yes. But I've been playing a lot of that, mostly just like. So, I say 2 grandy achievements. What I actually mean is 3 in total. There's the level 100 multiplayer, which I'm not going to focus on that at all until they've confirmed that it's been patched and it's, manageable.
Achievable.
Yes. There's a couple which I haven't got, which is like visit another player's estate, which I can do that whenever. There's, whatever. There's the jobs. Get max out your qualifications on a job, which is... I thought it would be fine.
Yeah, ditto.
Until I realized that in order to get the maximum career promotion, you basically need to get, and I mentioned this to Boston while he was streaming this. I was like, yeah, you need to get 1.5 to 2 million credits.
That's a lot.
And you get 12 to 20,000 credits every time you do a delivery.
Yep.
Oh wow.
So it's a lot of deliveries that you need to do.
Yep.
And I'm getting fed up of the same ones again and again and again. Which reminds me, we never talked about it on the show. You said Monkey said there was a really funny delivery. Have you got that delivery yet?
No, I still haven't gotten it. Have you done it?
I don't know what one it is, so
Okay.
I don't know. So you might as well just tell me.
I'll
what it
spoil
is.
it.
Is it the short one?
He got a delivery that was basically literally on the next block. It was like a 10-second drive away. And I was like, that's...
Yeah, 3 stars is 10 seconds. 3
Yeah.
stars is 10 seconds on that one.
That's
And it's...
so
But the funny
good.
thing is, it's one of the few ones where you can't just full speed at the thing and it completes it.
Mhm.
You have to stop.
Okay.
On most of the deliveries, you could just get to it and it'll just black it out, and then you're there. Congratulations. On that one, you actually have to stop, which is hilarious.
That's really funny.
But yeah, I figured it was the short delivery one, but I didn't want to say anything
Right.
for anybody who's going through it.
Yeah.
And what was the other grandy achievement? Oh, the historical reward for the seasonal stuff. So
Okay, what's this one?
I misunderstood this achievement. So what I thought this achievement was, it's claim a historical season reward. So
Okay.
I thought it was, complete one of the challenges, like the daily, weekly challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was complete one of those after the season has passed. So one
Oh,
of the
sure.
stupid things that give you 1 credit, and it's drive 5 miles off road or do
Right.
this.
And you're
kind
in
of thing.
summer and you completed one from spring and you completed it then.
Yes.
Sure.
That's how I read the achievement.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Okay.
If you go to the seasonal tab on Forza, you can cycle through spring, summer, autumn, winter,
Mhm.
right? You know that. Everybody
It's
knows
the
that.
Horizon
then on the-
Festival, whatever.
Yeah, on the very far right, it's got upcoming seasons. And it's
Right.
so next Thursday, it's the Evolving World Auto Show, I believe it's called.
Wow,
Is the
okay.
next year of seasons.
Okay.
If you tab all the way to the left, there's a
Okay.
historical season rewards.
Oh, I don't think I knew that tab was
And
there.
kind of like how you get the 2 cars in the season itself, and it'd be oh yeah, get 20 points to get this car, 30 points to get this car out of 45 in total, or
Right.
whatever it is. In the historical seasons, it's oh yeah, you need to get 500 points to get this car.
What in the hell? Okay.
So I'm okay. So basically, play every season is what you're saying. Do as
Right.
many seasonal rewards as I feel like doing.
That's kind of a lot, man. Okay.
It's a lot. It's not kind of a lot. That's a lot.
And
It's
I was talking about
I
this
like this
on
game.
I was talking about this on stream of I'm not accusing playground games, but a lot of these achievements feel like things you would see in a traditional live service game where it's like we have to keep player retention up, so we have to give them a goal that they need to play every day for the full 3-month season, and they've just got to stay around.
Get 100 levels in marathon.
Exactly. This isn't that game though. Like this isn't
No.
Forza Horizon 6 isn't, or any of the Forza Horizon games aren't games where I'm living in the multiplayer system. It's the game where I go and I collect every board, I collect every mascot, I drive every road, I race everything until I'm tired of it, and then I uninstall it. And I go, I had a good month or 2 with this game. I loved it. I'm waiting for the next one, or most likely waiting for whatever ridiculous complimentary tie-in DLC that they'll announce. I'll install it for that. I'll play it until I get sick of it, and rinse and repeat. I don't want to hang out with my friends and play hundreds of hours of multiplayer Forza Horizon to get one achievement. That's ludicrous. Or like, I don't want to.
It's this seriously achievement from Gears. It's like,
Right.
why?
Right. And it's like, I also don't want to spend the next 4 weeks playing too much of each season in like a full year, like a quote-unquote year of the game, just to get one of these cars to get this achievement. Like, that's just... It's too much, and most of the other achievements aren't like that.
No, most of them are absolutely fine. And like we said, they don't have the road achievement in. They don't have like the promo achievement in it anymore. Which
the mascots.
I'm glad I'm glad that the RB one works for you, Boston.
Yes, thank you, Moon. I think we talked about that last week about saying like, hey, if you just want to take a quick snap, I think it's called like quick snap or quick shot or something.
Yeah, quick photo or something.
Yeah, like you can just hit RB, just click, 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 and then you're done. It's great.
Yeah. Again, I like Forza Horizon 6. This is probably going to end up being one of those games where, like, when I was playing through the game, I let the adaptive difficulty guide me in what I was doing. So, like, kind of the opposite to you, Boston, where you're just like, no, just...
Yeah, turn it one click down, everyone. Leave me alone. I want to win.
And I let it do that throughout the entire game. I got all the way through to Legend Island and everything. I think by the time I got there, I think I was on, like, skilled driver tars.
Okay.
I was like, this is great. Now I'm just doing cleanup. So now it's back to below average, and I'm smoking everyone, regardless of what vehicle I'm driving. And then, like, I'll load it up on a Saturday. I find out what that week's festival things are, because I don't really care about the single digit ones, like the weeklies that only do like give you 1. I'm just like, no, like, let me find this hidden box that gives me 2. Let me do this championship, which gives me 5. Let me do this other championship, which gives me 5.
And those are the fun ones anyway.
Yeah, and like, I'll get to it eventually, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I'll play a couple of hours every Saturday, maybe, of it, depending on how much time I spend mowing lawns.
Right.
But it's been a fun game. It is still a fun game.
Yep.
The main thing that bothers me is right now, based on how much I want to play it versus the 150 something gigs it takes up. It's like, bro, like, this is a lot when I have Lego Batman sitting right there waiting for me to play it, and it doesn't fit on my hard drive. Like, come on.
So speaking of Legend Island, I did finish this game this week. I got to Legend Island.
Oh, you got the gold.
Yeah. I got the gold. I got to Legend Island. I shockingly don't want to spoil what happens there, but I was really happy with that kind of ending of the game leading up to the Legend Island stuff and then unlocking Legend Island. I thought that was way, way, way better than I was expecting. And then we've talked about it a little bit, but I like that they open up the gauntlet races. I think they open up 4 of them when you get to Legend Island. I did the one that takes you around the entire perimeter of Japan.
I think that's the Colossus.
I think you're right.
Wait, no. Was it highway or was it off or was it roads?
It was roads. It wasn't the highway one.
Okay, so I think the highway one is the Colossus, I believe.
Yeah. And that was like 26 or 27 minutes. So like that's exactly what I want out of those races. Around that half an hour long race that takes you through everything. And that was great. Like I did that. I did like one or two of the races on Legend Island, which those are fine. And I was happy with how that game turned out. Like I was happy where where all of that ended up, and I didn't do everything in the game. I didn't complete 100% of everything, and I'm okay with that. Like I got to Legend Island.
Yeah.
I did one of those gauntlet races, and then I realized I was at the point where I'm like, that's my time with this game, and I loved the game, but I feel like if I spend more time with it, then I'm gonna get to the point where I feel like I have to do 100% of it, and I don't really have the time to do that right now. So I'll just kind of cut it here and be like, it was great. It was a great experience. Forza Horizon 6 is another Forza Horizon game, and it's great.
Yeah. My other than the Toge beef that I have with this game, my only criticism of layout of progression for me would be pull that first Horizon promo event, stick that last, dude. That needs to be
I
the
agree.
last thing you do.
Yeah, I think that's the one. To me, that seems like
that showcase event is the best showcase event. Like, put that last.
And it's funny because I think the first Rush event is the best Rush event as well. The one where you're on the docks and you're like crawling up the containers and everything. I think that's one of the most interesting ones too. And it's like I understand why there's an inclination to do that, but I think you like front loaded some of that stuff a little bit too much. And I agree with you. I think both of those are interesting enough that you could have put those last and been like a really big showpiece.
Like that first showcase event, I think if they would have had that be like the thing that you unlocked for Legend Island, would have just cherry on the top of the cake for that kind of thing.
And you can leave it like sitting in the Horizon Festival thing, like you can see it regularly and kind of build up to it. I think that would have been really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I still love Forza Horizon 6. It's still a great game. It's still fun to play, especially I'm listening to podcasts. I'm really listening to Stargate SG-1 in the background while I'm playing it. Don't shake your head at me, Nimp. And I know you would do the same.
This is a safe place. Please.
No, it's not out of I can't believe you're doing it. It's I wish I was doing that too.
That's right. That could be me.
But I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's great. Like, again, especially if you have Game Pass, it's a no-brainer. You know?
Exactly.
It's phenomenal. And I did forget I played one more game.
Okay.
Before I transition over to Nimp, I played Gamble with Your Friends. It was Doom Night. This Friday just gone. We are getting better at the first day. I will say that much. We are definitely getting better at the first day. However, I need to, and I have screenshots to prove it. I need to make a pointed note that this week I was the savior of the group.
Okay.
I got my slots on. I enjoyed my time in the casino, and every single quota that we had to hit, I hit by myself.
Oh, dang. Okay. Hit a hot streak.
Everyone else was in negatives most of the rounds. And I'm sitting there with my extremely useful quota being like, yeah, it's okay, it's like 21,000. Okay, I'll earn us 40 just to make up for the rest of you schmucks playing.
That's right.
Carrying the team. So I sat there and I double fisted the slot machines the entire night, where I was like boop 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 hitting two at once.
That's right.
And I was just like, yep, give me all the winnings, please and thank you very much.
So good.
Yes, it was fun. It still is fun. We did 2 weeks back to back of this now, so I don't know if it's going to loop back into the Wheel of Doom,
right?
For the friend games, or how it's going to go. But genuinely funny, hilarious game. We saw games this week which we'd never seen before, like penguin hopping.
Okay.
Wish I could. You hop a penguin across a bunch of icebergs, and the multiplier goes up, and then eventually it crashes and burns.
Okay.
Bill did try and put Beyblade battles in, but they did not work as expected. So
The
That was
Beyblade's too strong.
unfortunate. Yes. There is literally the button to hit play on that. It says "Let It Rip," which is great.
Incredible.
But it's just unfortunate it didn't work.
Ah, bummer.
But we are, as a team, getting better at like using items, understanding the items. You know, that kind of thing.
Right.
I don't know. It's a fun, dumb little game that we sit there and we have a laugh about the whole time. I do want to say though, what we were struggling with the first days, whatever the case may be, and I don't know when it happened, but someone shot my mouth off.
Uh-huh. That happens.
Yes, perfectly normal sentence.
Yep.
And they did it right at the end of the day. It turns out it was Bill, frenemy of the show, Bill. And so literally, like, he shot me. I fell over and the screen faded out and then faded back up, and we hit the quota.
Okay.
Now, I spent the next 5 days not knowing that my mouth had been shot off.
Okay.
So I was the only person in the green.
Uh-huh.
I got my mouth shot off. Everybody else was talking as normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably like day 4 or 5, everybody else sold their mouths, or Bill and Steve sold their mouths so that we could buy some items to mess around with them and try and make more money.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the next day, Ash was getting fed up with just hearing hum, 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 instead of talking.
Understandably.
Because I'm talking like normal, thinking that Ash is understanding what I'm saying.
Right.
Bill and Shino both have no mouth. So I was like, okay, so I'm just going to go sell one of my eyes so that these guys can get their mouth back.
Uh-huh.
So
Friendship.
not knowing that I didn't have a mouth, I
Right.
sold an eyeball to get them their mouth back
Right.
while not having a mouth myself.
The famous biblical parable.
Yes. I was so annoyed because, like, I happened to be, spoiler alert, oh, shocker, playing the slots.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill was on the other side of the slot machines because they come in like banks of 4. So I was hitting the 2 at once. He was hitting the 2 at once. And I tried saying something to him and he's like, I cannot hear you. And I was like, wait, am I having like mic issues? Like, what's
Right.
going on? And then he comes around to the other slots. It's the other side of the slots. The music is pretty loud in the game because it's inside of a casino.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes around the other side of the slots. He's like, say that again. So I said it again. He's like, bro, I cannot understand you. He was like, I know my mic is working. I
Right.
know it's fine. I'm getting the microphone symbol in the corner. What is going on? And that's when I found out that like 5 days earlier, he shot my mouth off.
What do you mean I don't have a mouth?
And then the next end of day, I bought my mouth back and I was literally yelling at everybody in like the little waiting area. Like, I sold an eyeball so you guys could talk, not knowing I didn't have a mouth. You
Right.
a-holes. Like, when did this happen? And yeah, to say it was a shocking moment for me to realize that I was treated that much
That's right.
is ridiculous. After carrying the team
That's right.
through every day,
The disrespect.
they wouldn't even let me say my piece because I couldn't speak.
That's right.
But yes, the game is fun. It's dumb, hilarious every single time we play it. But that's all I've been playing. Nimp, take us away.
All right. First game I have real quick is not one that I'm actually playing. It's actually one that my daughter's been playing because apparently Among Us is super popular again.
Oh, okay.
At least with their group of friends. So I have the Switch out in the living room, moved it out there Friday, and they have been playing nonstop since Friday. And I know that there was an update on June 5th, not exactly sure what all that entails, but apparently Among Us is doing great still. So
Okay.
that's all I got for that. I just wanted to pass that along, that apparently it's
You know
still a
what's
thing.
really funny about Among Us? I have one achievement on the Xbox version, and it's that get the credit card swipe the very first time you try it achievement.
Of course.
One of the hardest achievements
That's
to get.
so
and it's
good.
The only one I have on Among Us.
You can't get any other ones now. It's too good.
Nope.
All right, so the next game that I've actually been playing is Legend of Heroes Beyond Horizon. I have finally gotten to the part where they are adding plot twists now to the story.
Okay.
It's it always starts out with all the background filler, and then additional characters get added, and then okay, this is where the story actually starts. And of course, I'm 40 hours into the game now, so the story's now hitting. The first weird thing that has happened is they have an observation tower that has a telescope in it, so that they can look at the stars and all that fun stuff. And everyone's looking through it, and they're all geeked out that they can see, all these stars out in space and blah blah blah. And then two other characters walk up to the telescope, look at it, and they see nothing. It is just a void out there.
Okay.
It's like, okay, that's weird. And there is a lot of, specifically with these two characters, they have had a lot of weird supernatural stuff happen to them in previous games. So as we start to look into, okay, what is going on? Is this a glitch with the system or what? We come to find out that...
Impala?
No, they do not. Not that kind of supernatural. Come to find out that all of the telescopes, the image data that they receive is funneled through one main computer, and that feeds the images back through the telescope, and that's what you end up seeing.
Okay.
What it seems like is happening is that the computer is set up to show that there are stars out there, but what these two characters are seeing are actually beyond what the computer is supposed to be showing. So it makes it seem like that there may be like this weird veil that's surrounding the globe.
I see.
Projecting certain images. Because when you go outside, you can still look up and see stars and the moon and everything. Everything looks fine. It's just when these two happen to look through this telescope, that's when things get weird. And it seems like shenanigans are afoot, and that's what we are attempting to figure out now. It's like, okay, we know these two are special in a weird way. What is why are they seeing this differently than the rest of us? Who else can see it differently? And it has turned into this weird don't trust the government thing. Certain organizations have already turned against this party, and they're not outlaws yet, but it seems real close that a government's going to be like, hey, keep your eye out for these people. They need to be brought in, kind of thing. Some real Illuminati stuff. So, it's like, all right, cool. This is getting really interesting. It's finally dropping something interesting. And this, on top of this, we are slowly getting closer and closer. I think I'm finally like a day away from the space launch that's supposed to be happening, which is supposed to have a mech in it.
Of course.
Getting like real Xenogears Saga Blade coded, now. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. And I would giggle like an idiot if it does kind of be like, hey, there's this weird kind of marker thing out in space.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's all that's really happening with this. There is a bunch of other side story stuff, but it's one of those things where it's like, unless you've played all 9 other games, it's not really worth bringing it up on the podcast right now. But I'll do a 9-hour spoiler cast on these games.
There you go.
One day by myself.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, you should have him on Pup and just do a spoiler cast for the whole game.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, like, there are so many of these, and there's so much that, like, I enjoy them because I was there at the beginning. This is one of those games where it's like, okay, you kind of do have to start from the beginning, and yeah, cool, they're doing remakes, so it's like you can get first chapter and second chapter that's coming out soon. Those would be the ones I would start with. But these games have so much 90s and early 2000s JRPG bloat that even I'm like holding circle and just watching text blow through. So I'm like, I know none of this is story related. This is just crap that I don't care about.
Yeah.
So it's it's one of the few games that I'm like, you would have to really, really love JRPGs to really want to sit through and play all these games. So, and have a lot of time. Speaking of, though, because the JRPG does not stop here, because Final Fantasy V Forge Fiesta apparently started,
Heck yeah.
and I started playing it. Being the smart aleck that I am, when Boston's like, "Oh, hey, you can uncover your your wind crystal job," and I'm like, "I can uncover all of them," and I did.
Right.
Starting out, I have white mage, and then the rest of my party is going to be red mage, bard, and dancer.
Yeah. It's a pretty solid group.
Playing as white mage in the beginning sucked.
It's
So
not
hard.
great. Yeah.
No. You have no real damage output, and you can put everybody in the back row so that way you're not taking a whole lot of damage, but you're doing like 8 damage
Yeah.
with a wooden stick.
You can stay alive forever, though.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I have only died once, and I will get to that here in a little bit, when I was still messing with white mages. But so far, I am all the way up to the point where I have cleared the fire crystal off the ship.
You're scooting.
So, I've got those 3 jobs. Dude, this game has clicked with me so hard. I haven't played this game since it re-released on the PlayStation 1.
Okay,
So
sure.
I'm kind of doing a lot of this through memory because I used to play it a lot as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of this is like, okay, I remember this being here and blah, 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 and all this. I have the classic graphics and the original BGM set up for this.
Sure.
So it's all the fun little bips and bobs and dits and does and all that. Playing as a white mage, an entire party of white mages, was not difficult until I got to, is it Magasa?
Yes.
The one that comes with Forza.
Yep.
The
yeah,
Hunters.
Magasa and Forza. Yep.
My God.
It's the worst. That's the worst party to fight that boss with. It's really rough.
The saving grace was that I could silence her so she couldn't do magic attacks.
Right.
All right, cool. I have that going for me. I did not know that she was going to summon her husband, Forza, who is basically a titan.
Yep.
And he
hits like a truck.
Dude, his tackle attack was doing 160 damage. My white mages had 250 health.
Right.
So I am doing 12 points of damage every hit, and these guys have 600 points of health. So the first time I died, I got teeth to curb, like my first time through. My second time through, I'm just like, because luckily there is a save point, and I used a tent in that section too before you do this. So it's like, all right, cool. Redo this, and I am going to focus solely on keeping her silenced, so that way I can just keep attacking her, and I will just deal with her husband. And I put on Protect on my white mages,
right,
which brought him down from doing 160 every attack to like 100, and it may have just been 100 damage every attack. So I knocked off like 60 points. My God, I think that battle took me about 30-40 minutes.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, of just fighting them. And then the worst part is that
I suggested this for Game Club next year, didn't I? Am I that much of an idiot?
I think maybe
doing the 4-job Fiesta.
There's only
there's
only 2 jobs that are really rough at the beginning. That's White Mage and Thief, for kind of the same reason. It's like White Mage has healing for days. You're just not doing any damage, and Thief has a little bit of damage but no healing. Thief is kind of like the hardest to get at the beginning.
And no, you're not an idiot. Because if I wasn't handicapping myself with the 4-job Fiesta, I could have just broken a rod on her and be done with it. Like, there are all these... And this is the kind of funny thing, too, because I have looked up a couple guides here with some of the boss fights, because I'm like, all right, is there a way I can kind of skirt around this a little bit?
Right.
And there are. Just not available to me as a white mage.
Right, exactly.
And a lot of them are ones that I remember doing. I was just trying to think, is there something else I can do here? No, okay, whatever. I'll just bite down and deal with it, which I did. Because you can become super OP like within the first couple hours of this game. Breaking rods with black mages and stuff like that. That gets you through like most of the game, if not all of the game.
Yeah.
If you can keep up your gil.
Especially the pixel remaster version, because it moves the Okay, so if anyone hasn't played Final Fantasy V, in Final Fantasy V, certain magic casting classes can use rods from inside of the inventory, which people call breaking rods. And when you break a rod in the normal version, it casts the level 3 version of that rod's element. So if you use a fire rod, it uses the level 3 version of fire on one single enemy. In the Pixel Remaster version, it does it across all enemies, which is a huge buff, and you can get through basically all of World 1 just by cracking rods over your knee for the entirety of every single boss battle. It's wild.
And that's just not available to
Right.
me, unfortunately. so it's like, all right, I get through them. Cool. I don't have to worry about them anymore. Let's move on to the next thing. And the next thing was Walls Tower.
Yes.
And oh boy. So the boss for the water crystal is Garul, which
Yes.
is a monster that anytime you do...
Is this a water temple that's horrible again? Is
No.
that what I'm
No.
hearing?
The water temple itself is not that bad.
No, it's just like a straight
boss.
tower. Garul
And
slash
again-
Garula is a boss that hits really hard for the first half of the battle. It will do some like sap attacks every once in a while, so your health will go down. The real nasty part for a party like this is in the second half of the battle. Once you get his HP down a certain point, he just counterattacks every single attack, which
double counterattack.
That's right, I
Every
apologize.
single attack.
which is normally fine, but that's normally fine if you're doing enough damage. But if you're not doing enough damage, you're basically doing 15 damage, a little bit more if you get lucky with like a solid flail hit.
Yeah.
And then he's hitting you for like 150, and you're healing up, and then doing maybe 12 more damage, and like rinsing and repeating for a very long time.
Yeah, this was another 40-minute boss fight
Yep.
because I had Protect on, so it's like that. So that helped a ton for each
Yeah.
character. And I don't know if Protect stays on for the like if it's just there until the end of battle.
It stays
or if
on
has a
until it's
timer.
dispelled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had to recast it so far, thankfully.
Yeah.
What I was running into is exactly
Hi,
what
Louise.
Boston was saying. Was like, okay, cool. I am doing 15 points of damage. If I'm lucky, 23 points of damage on a critical.
One
You
character is attacking, everybody else is defending and occasionally healing. It's a classic.
So I had all of them just straight attack,
Right.
and he would counter every time, 2 times.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, cool. So that round was attacking. This next round is everyone healing everybody.
Right.
And then the next round, we're
Everybody
going
heal
right back to
themselves.
attacking. Yep.
Yep.
So I was going through and doing that, and that's why that battle took so long. But
Yeah.
finally took out that boss. It was one of the few fights that I'm like, crap, I might actually run out of MP. And at this point,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have ethers, and I haven't seen them.
You don't have
available
access to
buy.
them in World 1. It's like
Okay,
it's
that's what I
my
was thinking.
it's like my one problem with Final Fantasy V is like ethers are so important for so many JRPGs, and they're usually the thing you can get early, but they're kind of expensive. But if you need to, you can like grind a little bit and get a bunch of them. They're just not available whatsoever for almost the entirety of World 1, and that's really
it sucks.
frustrating.
So finally beat that boss, which now I can unlock my water crystal job, which is Red Mage. And
Okay.
one, I have always loved Red Mages. I
Yep.
thought that class was always cool. The fact that you could use, even though it's usually lower tier, you could always use white and black magic, and they're pretty okay physical attackers.
Right.
So, but for me, coming from a party of white mages, having a white mage and 3 red mages
Yep.
is like, I'm on top of the world. Like,
I can
I'm
do
killing
anything.
things left and right.
I can
Yeah.
even use a
Nothing
sword.
can stop me now. Yeah. So all of them have swords. I did end up finding a flail for my white mage.
Nice.
They all I've been buying all the magic, even though I know I'm not going to be able to use it. But like
Yeah.
I've been buying like the time magic, the summon magic,
Yep.
anything that I can find. I've been buying. And so I now have my red mages are job level 3, so they can use up to level 3 white and black magic.
Huge.
Which means now I decided to go back to walls. Or wait, is it walls? Wherever, I think it's the castle for walls that has Shiva in it.
Oh yeah.
And I love older Final Fantasy games where you had to fight the summons to be able to use them, to form a pact with them. I always loved that about it, and it kind of sucks that they got away from it in a lot of the more modern ones. With a red mage now, I'm just sitting here hitting everybody with like Fyra. It's like go, white mage heal, fire, heal, fire. Wiped her out. Like, this is great. I love this. So now I have her. Can't use her, but whatever. Then I move on to my next fun boss, which was Liquid Fire, going through the fire ship.
Did you do the fighting the wolves in the forest, grinding like usual outside of Karnak?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I'm going straight hardcore.
Yep.
And like I said, I have red mages now. Nothing in this game can stop me.
That's right. I can cast ice all day. No big deal.
Yeah. It still hurt though.
That's right. It was a deal.
It was a fight. It was not a 40-minute long fight.
Right.
So Liquid Fire, or I think it's actually Liquid Flame, has 3 different forms, and every time you manage to hit it, it changes forms.
Right.
And there's the human-looking form, there's a hand form, and there's a tornado form.
Yep.
And I remember each form is susceptible or strong against something. I didn't remember what.
Yeah, they all have their strengths and weaknesses, yeah.
Yeah, the hand doesn't take magic damage at all. I was like, oh, that's weird, whatever. So I would hit it with an attack, it would switch over to the tornado, I would hit it with Blizza, and it would take 700 points of damage. I was like, cool, just keep hitting it, and took that thing down no problem. And I now have 3 of my jobs from the fire crystal, because you don't get all of them,
right?
Because there's the whole thing, and I pulled it up. Where did I put it? It was me screwing around on the internet. So I have Geomancer, Ninja, and I think Beastmaster,
I think so. Yeah.
I
know you get. I think it's Ranger.
Geomancer, Beastmaster, and Ninja, and then Bard and Ranger are the other 2 that you don't get.
Right. You got to punch a chocobo
a little bit
in the back
later.
of the head. Yeah.
Yeah. No chocobos were hurt in the filming of this game.
That's right.
So I have those, but I cannot switch over to my Bard job yet because
Right.
I still don't have it. So I'm looking forward.
I forgot you got Bard. Have you been playing all the pianos?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No, I remember that.
Yeah.
Even though I never used Bard a whole lot, I do remember about
Bard
leveling
so
up my
strong.
piano level. There's like, what, 8 pianos
There
in
are
the
8,
world?
yeah. There's only
Okay.
and all of their songs are you can go back and get the songs later on. There's only one that's missable at the very beginning of World 3, I think it is. But if you miss that one, it's not the biggest one that miss. I think it's like an MP regen song. It's something you're not going to use anyway.
Okay.
You just want to play all 8 pianos, because the one you get at the end is the like most shockingly overpowered spell in this entire game. It is incredibly busted. It's so good.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to getting the Bard because I could use some extra support with certain things. I know they're not great for a lot of things and a lot of situations in this game, but you can make them beefy and helpful.
Yeah,
so...
once you get those like last 2 or 3 songs, they're incredibly strong.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to messing around with Dancer because that's another class that I did not really mess around a whole lot. So, and I hear that can be kind of an odd one to
Dancer's
deal with,
really good if you can. It's like heavily gear dependent on swinging the RNG of Dance in your favor. Because there's a bunch of gear that you can use to boost. Okay, let me roll back. Final Fantasy V has a job called Dancer. They have a skill called Dance, and it picks from a list of it's like 8 or 10 dances they can do, and it's some of them are like you steal some MP from the enemy, or you steal a small amount of health, or you have a chance to confuse the enemy or something like that. The one dance you want is called Sword Dance, and it does like 10 times the physical damage that your weapon should be doing. It's astronomically strong. But it only has like a 10-15% chance of being rolled with RNG. But with the right equipment, it can move to 50% or higher. So a class that seems useless at the beginning can all of a sudden turn into your surprising DPS class, because it just does a dance and like does a huge slash. Especially if you put the chicken knife from way at the end of the game on them.
Yeah, I still gotta grab that thing. So, but yeah, I am still having a blast. I'm enjoying listening to the music. This has kind of turned into my fun little Blue Sky game.
Yeah.
That has been terribly difficult. There has been a lot of swearing at the TV.
Yep.
Before. Now again, it's fine. But man, White Mage, whew, that was a.
It's got to get over that
a real
hump
spicy
sometimes.
Start there.
Yeah.
And I was trying. I obviously have no issues grinding, and I did do a little bit of grinding, but I'm trying to keep the grinding down because this is an old Final Fantasy game, so it doesn't take a whole lot for all of a sudden, hey, I'm 5 levels above everything and just walking through it.
Yep.
And eventually I may get to that point because I may just be like, all right, I just want to be done with this. Let's get to level 100 and just knock everything out.
Exactly, yeah.
But right now I'm just enjoying running around, seeing Boko, checking out dragons.
Our buddy Boko.
Yeah, seeing that Sylvie came back and is dead, and Baby coming back again.
Came back again, is dead again.
Yeah.
Yep.
The whole thing with the meteors, I just remembered about the meteors, the inside of them, and I was like, oh, that's right, that's how you get around. Okay, cool. Yep. So, lots of fun stuff.
It's a great game.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing for this week and the week before.
All right. I got a quick couple here. First up, Mina the Hollower. I started a stream earlier this week, and my main goal was I'm just going to clear out the next generator, so I'm going to go through the next dungeon. I did that, and then I accidentally found another dungeon and cleared that out. I thought what I was unlocking in the game was going to be like a fast travel system, and I think it is a form of fast travel now that I'm done with that dungeon, but it was basically like, oh no, something happened. Whoops. You got a dungeon. It's like, oh, okay. I wasn't really expecting that, but okay, we'll just knock this AI out, sure. And I think I see where the last dungeon is, which I have seen some people online being surprised about what you need to do to get it. But it's definitely one of those things of like, you haven't been doing this throughout the entire game. I'm not entirely sure what you've been doing. It has been optional, but you kind of have to go out of your way to not do it. So stay on top of that as you're going through. But not a whole lot to talk about in this game so far this week. I think the thing that I continue to be really tickled by is the same thing I'm realizing is the same thing I really liked out of Shovel Knight. Where you're like going through an area or you're going through a dungeon and something looks a little off. You're like, that wall looks a little weird, or maybe I can jump off this cliff, and you like run into a whole nother area, has like a platforming challenge or a combat challenge or something like that you go through and you're like, okay, I just stumbled on this extra screen. I didn't get anything super wild at the end of it. Like, I probably got some currency or whatever at the end of it, but you know, I kind of had fun doing this like optional sort of fun thing at the end of the day. So I like that design that they had in Shovel Knight they found a way to kind of bring that forward into Mina the Hollower. So I think that's really cool.
You got
But
a fun little bike now for traversal.
yeah, you do get a bike as one of your sidearms, an umbrella, some rocks you can throw, like a fishing line. There's a whole like fishing mini game in the game, of course. There's kind of a lot, but a lot of what I'm doing so far has been focused on clearing out the dungeons, activating the generators, getting a bunch of the story stuff, which I don't really want to talk about. And I'm just having a blast with it. Like, it reminds me a lot of the same thing of Shovel Knight, of like, it's not the most complicated thing when I sit here and talk about it, but I'm having fun moment to moment. Like, I'm having fun just like in a Soulsborne game, like struggling with the boss and getting that really lucky, one-shot boss fight, and being like, I really invested in my my strength and my armor, and I've gotten a bunch of the side optional stuff. So I've like really boosted my health, and I've really gotten all these artifacts and everything. So like doing all of that stuff left me in a really great position to fight this boss or get through this dungeon or get through this optional thing or whatever. So that's been really, really very satisfying. I think that's the thing I've been enjoying the most in this, is just kind of, it's just a really great game to play. And
is this like your Hollow Knight for this year, do you think?
It feels a lot like that. Like I've been talking about that a lot on stream, of like, I don't dislike 3D Soulsborne games, but I really like 2D Soulsborne games. Like when you can take a lot of the lessons, or you can take a lot of the systems that those games use and put them into a 2D game, like Hollow Knight, where that isn't a Soulsborne game, but it takes a lot of the influences from that as well. Like this feels like it has the combat stuff. It feels like it has the aggression and the sort of like forward sort of movement stuff that Bloodborne has, but in this Game Boy Color kind of 2D sort of gameplay. So it's been interesting for me to kind of think of like, I don't dislike this genre, but I'm finding that I really like this kind of permutation of the genre overall. So it's been pretty fun. I'm really excited to see where it goes. And then, once I feel like I've gotten far enough in the game and I've beaten the game and everything, I'm curious to see what else I have left to get to 100%. I mean, like, what stuff I've kind of missed all over the game. Which I'll find out at some point, I'm sure. But that's Mina the Hollower.
There's a hidden boss or something.
Oh,
somewhere.
Almost guaranteed.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't. Like, that seems like a given here. We have Marathon. Where do I have Marathon here? Hold on. I'll just open up this one. Marathon Season 2 has started. Season 2 is called Nightfall. A whole bunch of new stuff in this. There's a brand new map, the night version of Dire Marsh. I think going into the season, everyone's like, okay, so they just took an existing map and they turned the lights off. Whoopity-doo. Thankfully, it's quite a bit more than that. There's a bunch of new enemies. There's a bunch of new systems in there. The UESC, the bots you're fighting against, have kind of moved a bunch of heavy equipment in to try and fight against you. There's a whole bunch of new risks. There's a whole bunch of real spooky stuff. That map is incredibly dark. It is way darker than I think I was expecting them to go. And I think that is one of its biggest strengths. Is you do have a flashlight that you have, and you can keep it on indefinitely, so it's not like, keep it on for 10 seconds and then it burns out or runs out of battery. But if you're the only thing glowing in a map that's completely dark, you're probably
Yeah,
going to stick out like a sore thumb.
It's a little bit obvious who stands out, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There are like a bunch of the POIs around the points of interest have lights on them. There's a bunch of stuff in the environment that is lit up, so it's not all completely 100% dark, but if you're in the middle of nowhere and it's just a couple of lights bobbing around, it's probably going to be a player. You were going to say something, Nim?
Well, yeah, I was actually going to ask, did you ever play Ewok Hunter from Star Wars Battlefront 2?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, it's terrifying.
So, and that's why I was wondering, because in Ewok Hunter, you have to have a flashlight on or else you're not seeing anything. Like, it's pitch black. And the Ewoks, they don't need to see your flashlight. They can see in the dark, no problem.
Oh,
so I was just curious if it was like that, where it's like your only point of view is through that light tunnel that your flashlight's creating, or if you had other lights you could go off of.
Well, they did introduce a couple new systems. So there are light grenades that you throw off and it just illuminates an area. There are special rounds. It's really just an attachment on a gun that after you aim down sights for a little bit, the first bullet you shoot out will light up an area or light up an enemy if you hit an enemy with it. And then certain scopes on guns are just LiDAR. So you'll see that kind of red LiDAR grid throughout an area, and it will light up, it will kind of light scan enemies, whether it's players or bots or stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So they do have a bunch of new systems in there to kind of, without using your flashlight, have other ways to look around and get around. So it's a really cool map. There's a new kind of end game area that you have to do a whole bunch of stuff in and like put a bunch of stuff in to get to an area and fight a boss and fight a bunch of stuff. So it's nice to have like yet another sort of end game loot area that isn't Cryo Archive, that map that's around during the weekend. They also did introduce their first, it's not a true PvE mode, but they're calling it PvP Light mode. So what it is called Sponsored Survival. And they started with it on Night Marsh, which is the map I was just talking about. It is now rotated to Perimeter, which is the very first map in the game. And what it is you and your team of 1 to 3 people go into a map, normal map, or normal run lengths are 25 minutes. This one is only 18 minutes, but it's only you going into the map. There are no other enemy teams going to the map. There can be rooks at some point, so those are the single-player kind of scavenger classes that people can play. And you have to bring in a sponsored kit. In Arc Raiders terminology, it's a free kit. So you kind of can't come in like loaded to the teeth with all your stuff. And the only other thing is there are no exfils except for final exfil. So there's not, usually every 5 minutes an exfil will pop up. You can only do the one that shows up after the timer completely runs out. So it is you and your crew and then potentially X number of rooks that are out there that could be friendly, or they could not be and kind of rush the final exfil. Or, as we're finding out, you're probably just not going to run into any rooks, because rooks really aren't playing that mode whatsoever, especially on the beginner map, because for most endgame players, that's not where the loot is. That has been really interesting. It's not... I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It's not a mode for me, because I really like that tension and that friction of a standard marathon run, where you are more than likely going to run into another enemy team of actual human players. And I like that kind of push and pull of like, are we going to win? Are we going to lose? Are we going to draw and both of us are going to run away? Am I going to run into anybody, or am I going to be looking over my shoulder the entire time? Am I going to run into a rook that takes out all three of our party members all at once. They're like the best player I've ever run into. Like, I like that kind of friction. I like that kind of tension. But I think a mode like this is really important, especially for people that don't want that tension and they don't want that kind of struggle, or they just want to kind of like with Destiny 2, you don't have to do a dungeon or a raid. You can go do a strike. It's a lot easier content. You're still getting some good rewards. It doesn't need you to be at the absolute top of your game, etc., etc. So it feels a lot like that, where it's not a purely PvE thing. And let's not forget, the PvE enemies in this game are no joke, and they're harder this season. So, like, it's not this thing of, like, pew, 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 just, like, firing one shot at everything and clearing out a POI and then looting. Like, it's still... There is still a challenge. You're still probably going to go do a contract, which are the quests in the game. And you might struggle with them. You might do a contract where it calls in, like, 3 waves of bots. And those are still going to be hard. You just usually don't have to look over your shoulder for other enemy runners. And for a lot of people that were or are understandably intimidated about the difficulty of Marathon or the difficulty of extraction shooters, it does seem like a much more approachable playlist and a much more approachable system for them to figure out how to play the maps, figure out how to do contracts, like learn their runner shell skills, learn how to work as a team, all of that stuff, without feeling like, hey, there's an enemy team over there, and like a bunch of fully kitted out end game people just steamroll you and you lose all your stuff. So I think it's a really cool playlist. I find it a little bit boring, but not boring enough to be like, oh my god, can we please not play Sponsored Survival? Just a little bit of like, if we play it, that's cool, but if we want to play some of the regular stuff, that might be a little bit more appealing for me, at least for the moment. Now the season, real quickly, now the season 2 started, they've completely redone all the skill trees. They are wildly different from what they were in season 1. They are way cheaper now, which is a huge change. Both earning faction rep and earning season levels have been massively accelerated. I have played very little and I'm almost level 40. Like, that is hugely different from what it was before. Every contract, even the kind of like easy, repeatable ones you get, are just dumping faction rep on you, which is great, because part of what Bungie said at the end of last season was, we really want the experience that people are running into of, you should be able to VIP every faction, which is get every faction to level 30, by just playing regularly. Anything above and beyond that will just shower you with incredible rewards, which is great, and especially good for people that are playing a lot of it. So like, all of that feels great. And then they introduced a new system called the Cradle, which is, instead of selling extra gear and stuff that's in your vault, you break it down into Cradle XP. It doesn't give you any money, but it gives you Cradle XP. And every time you level up the Cradle, you get 1 skill point that you can put in one of 6 different skill trees. And they're all very obvious. Like, the Strength one increases your melee attack damage. The Endurance one increases your agility and your loot speed. The I think it's called like Efficiency or whatever, makes it so your abilities recharge faster and start with more of a charge at the beginning of a match. So like, all of that stuff feels really great, and it removes all of that stuff from the faction skill trees where it was before, where it's like, I sure would love to make my melee stronger, but I'm not good at the PvP, so I'm never going to level up Arachne. So I can't get this upgrade. Like, it removes it from that completely. And I think that's really smart. So I think that's kind of the highlights of season 2. I still really like it. I unfortunately have had very little time to play it this season. I've run, I don't know, maybe 20 total runs so far, which I know sounds like a lot, but with how fast these runs go, that isn't really a lot
Yeah,
in
it's
total.
really not.
Yeah. But I'm really enjoying it. I think the free weekend that they just, or the free weekend change that they just finished, I think got a lot of people to play it and got a lot of people to check out the game and kind of stick with it. I think a number of people are pulling off of the game right now for the next game that I'll be talking about, but I'm hoping the numbers sort of recover here after a little bit. But I'm not a Steam DB doom and gloomer, so I'm not super. It's not my business to worry about.
I don't know. It sounds like you are.
That's
Yeah.
right. I
Talking about how
know.
numbers are already dropping, and
Dead
no,
game.
this is going to be another Concord.
Bungie's
and...
cooked. Concord 3. Yeah. But yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. I like Marathon a lot. They have said that later on in the season they're going to be coming out with a PvE only playlist of some sort. Haven't really explained what that's going to be yet. I'm very curious to see what that's going to be, because I think so far the PvP Lite stuff, the sponsor survival playlist, has been largely good so far, and reception seems to be good. I'm kind of curious to see what the next step on sort of finding a playlist that's the polar opposite of the kind of initial marathon play style is going to be. I'm not going to sit here and say it's garbage and they're killing them. It's not my on paper it's not the thing that I want to play, but it could be. Once they come out with it, I'd be like, oh no, this is actually, they came out with something really good. Hopefully it's not just a horde mode, because I don't think that would be super interesting. But I kind of trust them to come out with some good stuff here. So Marathon Season 2, still good. And then, last but not least, the end of Destiny 2. We didn't talk about it in the news stories when it was announced, but Bungie a couple weeks ago announced that on June 9th they were putting out the final live update for Destiny 2. It was the end of Destiny 2 overall. Which I think was not surprising, based on how Destiny 2 had been struggling for a while now, especially sort of post the final shape. I think I share an unpopular opinion here that I'm glad that Bungie did not announce a Destiny 3 when they announced this. I know a lot of people are saying well, we want Destiny 3 and Bungie should be working on it and blah, blah, blah. I wanted to ask you guys, as people that have checked out Destiny 2 and kind of, been in and out of the game, what would you say is the one long-lasting legacy of Destiny 2? Positive or negative?
I mean, for me, well, positive, for me, it's the time spent with my friends, the year or so that I did the raids with you guys, with the Destiny crew. That was basically game night before game night, essentially, kind of thing.
Right.
That was fun times. Negative-wise, it's the constant up and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is a lot of one of the production. It's the same thing as Moon. One of the production jobs I had, we all played Destiny and Destiny 2.
Yeah.
To the point that in Destiny 1, I did not get the Galahorn until the day before the patch released to nerf it.
Right. Yep. Ditto.
And that is my every gun has a story that they were talking about back in Destiny 1.
Yep.
And so yeah, we played all of that, and the amount of times we would get mad at a raid.
Yep.
And then we would go into work the next day just cursing and bemoaning the raid at work, and then
Yep.
we would get home and everyone would get on and play the raid, and then like a week later we'd finally beat the stupid thing or figure out what we needed to be doing.
Yep.
So I have a lot of fond memories with that, but kind of like with Moon, with the up and down, when they started removing content from Destiny 2, that was kind of the mix between removing content and feeling like they weren't really respecting my time within the game.
Yep.
That was kind of when I started falling off of it.
So that's the real thing, the real long-lasting legacy of Destiny 2, especially for a lot of people that did play it early on or maybe have always been watching it from the outside, is the DCV, the Destiny Content Vault. They quote-unquote deleted half of the game, which they did. They deleted a whole lot of the game, and they have never brought it back. They did it for a lot of justified reasons. They completely overhauled their engine during Beyond Light, and it was just too costly from a development standpoint to bring it back. I really need people to stop saying that the game got too big from an installation standpoint. It did not. That was never the problem. They said it got too big from a QA and testing standpoint for them to continue to support all of that stuff. But that's still the longest lasting legacy of Destiny 2, is even as Bungie announced that they're finishing development of Destiny 2, the first question so many people were asking, a lot of times in bad faith, and that's fine, is, okay, cool, did they bring back the part of the game they deleted? And the answer was no, and I think the worst thing you could do at the moment would be announce a Destiny 3, and people are like, okay, cool, but I don't care because they're going to delete half of it again. Like, there needs to be a long amount of time before they can figure out how to assuage those worries and those concerns, instead of saying like, hey, we're bringing out Destiny 3, we're going to try to not delete it this time. Like there's just no good way to talk about it. So
Unfortunately,
on the 9th, Monuments of Triumph came out, which was their kind of like farewell to Destiny 2. They basically, it is a monstrously huge patch. They unleashed everything that they've been working on for like the next big update, the next big expansion, all of that, like everything they had in the pipe, they released all at once. They got rid of the I don't even remember what the system is, the portal, that system they were trying to have that like would encourage people to play content, all that. It just didn't work out. Brought back the director front to the forefront, which is the like planetary screen. They put rewards and upgraded rewards in literally everything. They brought back the Sparrow Racing League, which was the thing they said they would never do from Destiny 1. They finished putting catalysts in for every exotic weapon. They introduced a whole bunch of new exotics. They put a new secret exotic mission that has 2 other missions on the inside of it. They put everything they had ever wanted to in this patch. And I think for the first time in a really long time, Destiny 2 is in a good spot again. And it's really great to see that Destiny is kind of in a nice spot again, and they have removed so much of the FOMO that was starting to creep back into Destiny 2, of like, yeah, all of this stuff is just here permanently, and all of the past season passes, you can just get that stuff. I also forgot to mention, in Marathon, the Season 1 pass is still there, like they said. I was hoping they hadn't forgotten, but none of the season passes are going to go away for that game either. Okay. They've done a whole lot of work to decrease all of that FOMO and like make Destiny really exciting to play, and I think they did a really great job. It's hard not to feel like it's a bittersweet thing, even for me as like someone who played Destiny a lot, but also someone who runs a Destiny website. It's really hard to not to say like, it's good that they got to say goodbye, because a lot of these games don't. A lot of these games are like, yeah, we're working on a really huge, great patch that like fixed all the problems you got, and then they just closed us. The publisher closed us before the patch came out.
Say, it kind of seemed like that's the direction they were going, because it seemed like news to everyone working on Destiny 2 that, oh, hey, we're not doing that anymore.
Right. Yeah, a lot
You
of...
would think the employees would have known before the rest of us did.
Yeah, allegedly a lot of the employees were like, the what now? Sorry? You're not... Oh, okay, we're done, huh? Okay, well, sure, all right. So it's really great to see them say goodbye, and it's really great to see them just like take the shackles off of a lot of the game and just say like, just go nuts, man. Like, you just got a metric ton of stuff across the entire game. They brought back Pantheon, which is a raid boss, like one encounter after another mode. They brought that back, and now that's permanent. So like, you just want to challenge yourself with even harder versions of the hardest stuff in the game. You have some of the like end game stuff in the game. So it's really nice to see that sort of stuff. It's a little frustrating to see the amount of people like gnashing their teeth a lot with Destiny and being genuinely like upset in a hostile way that Destiny 2 is not being taken offline. Destiny 1 and 2 are still available to play. Like, don't forget, Destiny 1 is still available and online for you to play. But like, we got 10 years, almost 10 years out of Destiny 2 alone. We got a little over 12 years for all of Destiny. We had good times, man. Like, it's bittersweet, but like, we got through the whole Dark and Light saga. Like, playing all of that stuff still up through into the end of Final Shape is still really great. Should that have been where Destiny 2 ended? Yeah, probably. Like, that was a really great place to kind of put a bow on it and be like, well, we'll see you in Destiny 3 for the next saga. Yeah. Not how it worked out, but like, Destiny 2 was consistently very good. It obviously had problems. I'm happy they got a chance to say goodbye. I'm happy we all get a chance to say goodbye and to play a bunch of new stuff and have a bunch of new stuff to check out. And they put a bunch of story stuff in this game kind of out of nowhere to wrap up a bunch of loose ends. So the story just didn't end at the end of the Star Wars thing, which would have just been the worst. And like lead a bunch of very interesting breadcrumbs to whatever's going to be next for Destiny, whenever that happens. So,
I mean, do you hope for Destiny 3 at some point?
I would like to see them do Destiny 3 at some point, but now that they're out of the shadow of Activision, because if people don't remember, Activision was still publishing Destiny when Destiny 2 started, so Destiny 2 was like a contractual necessity. I would like to see them do Destiny 3 if they take the time to do what they've done with Marathon and invest in the engine and like the background systems and everything. Like, the number of times we're getting patches for Marathon that we don't need to download that are like, oh yeah, we just pushed a real quick patch to the servers, and now all this stuff is like
quick fix patches is like my favorite thing that seems to have come from this. Again, back to the OG Xbox reveal, always online infrastructure that everybody has.
And like a lot of times it's like, yeah, next time you load up this map, it'll be completely different. Like, a lot of that stuff is really cool. I think if they can invest in the engine and they can invest in the back end stuff and they can do all of that stuff and make Destiny 3 something that can grow over a decade without having to have the kind of expansion and contraction of content over time, and have a place where new players can start at the beginning, which Destiny 2 does not have. I know there's like a New Lights thing. It's not good. It's not as good as the Red War and earning your stuff over a 10-hour campaign, etc., etc. If they can invest in the infrastructure and all of that stuff and make that stuff solid, I think that's when you do a Destiny 3 and you plan that for 10 years and have that infrastructure and have that story and have all of that stuff go on. I do hope they do it at some point, because I think even now there's still nothing like Destiny. You know, Warframe is its own thing, and it's like it has a similar feel to it, but it's not Destiny. You know, like extraction shooters seem like they're the same. They're not this thing. World of Warcraft is not Destiny. You know, it's its own singular thing. And thankfully it's going to be able to be played for a long time. But there's just kind of nothing else while it's in this kind of stasis period, to borrow a Destiny term. There's just kind of nothing else to play that's like it. And hopefully they can fill that gap at some point.
But if you want to get into Warframe,
no, thank you. I have a family, sir.
So for Marathon, are they using the same quote unquote engine?
It is the exact same
Destiny?
engine. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was thinking about this while you were talking. I was thinking, I mean, one of the big things that 343 and everyone else that came up against was the issue with hyper-specific engines for developers.
Right.
And I'm not a huge fan of the Unreal Engine and Unity and everything else being the go-to engine. But for a single studio like Bungie, rather than like Capcom's approach with the RE engine, where it's across the entire company, do you think it makes sense for them to potentially do something like Destiny in a UE or in a Unity, rather than in their own engine?
I feel like that's the big question, because they said when they made the Tiger engine, which was kind of an offshoot of the Blam engine from Halo, that they had to make the Tiger engine because none of the other engines on the market did the network multiplayer, this whole sort of package that Destiny was trying to do back on like the PS4 and the PS3. Is that the case nowadays? Probably not. I feel like, again, I don't want to be an armchair developer, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that Epic especially has been trying to do with Unreal Engine has been trying to support larger games like this and multiplayer games like this. And you can see a lot of that in Fortnite. I am sure part of that is because they have hundreds upon hundreds of employees just working on Fortnite and Unreal. But like, I think that's kind of like the big outstanding question is like, if you're looking at a Destiny 3, do you invest in the Tiger engine again and deal with the hiring and the institutional knowledge and the longer term training challenges of dealing with your own in-house engine and your own in-house development stuff? Or do you try to take something like Unreal Engine and kind of start bolting stuff onto it that supports whatever Destiny needs to be from a front end and a back end standpoint? I don't think I'd be surprised either way if they went with either one of those two approaches. I'm kind of surprised they went with the Tiger engine for Marathon, but how much time do you spend getting your game into Unreal Engine 5 and then not having it feel like a Bungie shooter? You know, like Marathon feels like a Bungie shooter. And if you like that, it feels exactly the same as it's felt for the longest time. Like it has that same innate
that's
feel.
The big question about the Halo remake, right? Is it going to feel like Halo?
Right. So, I don't know. I Bungie's thing that they've been pretty honest about is saying, like, we're not working on we're working on Marathon. Obviously, Bungie and Sony are committed to. They have a roadmap for the next up to like season 5 or 6 or something. Like they have all of this stuff that they have planned. Sony has said they're sticking with Bungie and Marathon, but they're like, we're not working on Destiny 3. What we're working on is we're kind of working on trying out a bunch of games that we might, Marathon came out of a bunch of like just trying to make a bunch of small scale games and seeing what came out of that. And they say they're working on a handful of those now. So we'll see where that stuff comes out. But I think the real bummer of it is going to be that Bungie will, like 99% sure, unfortunately, probably be looking at a lot of layoffs because you don't need hundreds and hundreds of people to support Destiny 2 anymore if it's not being actively developed. And I think that's a real bummer. And it's I think a side effect of Destiny 2 kind of not being able to keep the bus on the road long term. And I hope that Bungie can get their next hit, because much as I'm enjoying playing it, Marathon is not that for Bungie. They knew that heading into it. I'll remind people, they knew that they weren't saying, like, we're going to make an extraction shooter and it's going to sell 50 million copies. It's not. Arc Raiders wasn't supposed to sell that many copies, and it somehow did. So, like, Marathon wasn't going to do that. But hopefully they'll get to a good point at some point. But I think at this point, Destiny 2 feels really great. They smartly put out a big package that's just, it's everything Destiny 2. It's got all the dungeons, all the raids. It has every piece of content we've ever put out for Destiny 2. If you wanted to get into it, here is the one package. They have one of those for Destiny 1 as well. It's like that World of Assassinations Hitman thing of just like, just buy this. This is the thing. Don't worry about picking up all the little pieces. This is just the one thing to do. So
are they getting rid of their currency? Their pay with real money currency then?
Nimp. They are definitely
That's
not.
why I'm asking.
Yeah, they are definitely not. But they have done a really good job of making it so a lot of the things you can earn in-game from that store through like the currency or through engrams that drop stuff from that store, it's a lot easier to get the specific things you're looking for. You can go and spend a couple of bucks and buy the thing you want, or you can kind of just keep playing and eventually get to the point where you can get that thing. So it's a lot more fair than it was, other than, because for a long time it was like, if you want that thing, just go buy it. It's just real money. It's just a couple bucks. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't feel really great. You can still do that, but without too much inside baseball, there's ways to earn some of that stuff in a way that is like, okay, that feels fair. So
cool.
Yeah. All right, that's Destiny 2. Let's really quickly do releases here, and then we're going to get into just two really quick news stories here. First up, releases of June 15th, 2026. Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales comes out PS5, Series Console, Switch 2, and PC. This is Square Enix's new game. It's an HD 2D game. There's a demo out right now where your progress, I believe, carries over into the final game. It's like a isometric 2D kind of classic hack and slash Square Enix thing. I've heard okay things from people talking about the demo. I don't think it's really been kind of knocking people's socks off, but a lot of the feedback I've seen is like, yeah, if you're looking for one of these, it's a pretty solid game. So it seems cool. I might pick this up at some point.
It's like an old Super Nintendo East game in a weird way.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has that kind of same like perspective, I think. So it looks cool. I'm happy that Square Enix is putting out stuff that isn't just Final Fantasy. It isn't just, hey, we're putting out another Octopath Traveler or whatever. Like, I'm glad that they're still coming up with new games and new franchises to come out with. And then the other game out this week is R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos. Comes out PS4, PS5, Series consoles, Switch, Switch 2, and PC. This is the side view hex-based tactics game that uses R-Type ships and stuff. I have always heard good stuff about this game, and I just have never gotten around to playing it, but it seems really cool.
I haven't played the Tactics one ever, but I played R-Type on the Sega Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
As a kid.
Yep.
All the time.
It's basically that, but like a turn-based strategy RPG. Like it's.
Don't tell me that.
I know it's really dangerous, man. Like it's real cool. So maybe I'll check that out someday. These games seem pretty neat. So those are the only two games coming out this week.
I mean,
oh god.
It's also the game is also a lie because every single ship there had the little ball in front of it, and it's like, nah, bro, that's like 10 upgrades deep.
I know. That's me. That's my ship. And all my options. Did want to talk about a real quick news story here, kind of following up from something we talked about last week with our Not E3 episode. There were a couple of games we cut out of that show because they have been confirmed to use generative AI, like the new Tomb Raider upcoming remake, whatever that's called. They're using generative AI, so we're not going to talk about it on the show. That now, unfortunately, includes the new Crazy Taxi game. Sega has confirmed they're using generative AI in that. They're using it during the prototyping phase. They say mostly for concept art, which sucks because you have a team to do that. That's the concept art team. That's like the lifeblood of creating a video game, is figuring out how the game is going to look. Humans making that. Like, I despise this argument. I despise the use of generative AI and large language models in literally anything, and this
the other
sucks.
argument I see all the time as well is like, well, they just use it to create a mood board. It's like, no, that's what Google Images is for.
Also, that's what your concept artists are for. You have a team to do that. You turn over your team to say, hey, we're thinking about making a new Crazy Taxi game. What would that look like? Your inspiration is the other ones, the 3 or 4 other Crazy Taxi games. What would a game like that look like in 2026? There's your mood board.
And this whole thing, I'm sick and tired of people coming out and being like, well, AI, you can't get around it. It's happening. It's like, no, it is not.
It is not inescapable.
The only people who say that it's inevitable are the people who have so much money invested in it that if it craps out on them, they're screwed.
Yeah, they're selling you something, man.
It's anytime, it's like we were just saying, like, okay, cool. I've completely lost interest in this.
Yep.
As soon as it was brought up that Tomb Raider remake had AI in it, I was like, all right, not interested in that at all. Like,
I'm out.
Yeah, for me, and I know everyone's different.
Is like my issue with this is like my memory is shot, so like I might forget about this in like a year's time.
I mean, we're only humans, so like forgetting about it.
Yeah, and like it's one of those things where like I might forget about it, and like the Steam disclosure is like right at the bottom of the page.
Oh my god,
it's never right where you can see it.
No,
it's always right at the bottom.
Yeah,
the Xbox storefront doesn't have any form of that kind of acknowledgement. I'm assuming the PlayStation storefront doesn't have any of that acknowledgement.
No,
I haven't seen it.
And not even talking about the fact that like I own Claire Obscura, and hey, guess what? They announced after it had won a Game of the Year award that they used Gen AI in that too.
Same with Baldur's Gate 3. People forget that one too.
Baldur's Gate 3, the guy talked about the future use of it. He didn't actually use it for 3, I believe.
Yeah,
he just wants to go in on it.
There's been some stuff coming out and be like, no, we use that. Don't listen to what he said. We use that during development. It's like, okay, well,
great.
That's in question now too. So
there's another game that I own. That, like it's like, well, great.
So
fantastic.
Like, we do our best to not cover stuff that uses generative AI. This is another one for the list, but like, be cool if we forget about this in the future, and then someone says, hey, don't forget they use Gen AI, and we're like, yes, right, okay, right.
Yeah.
So there are only 400 games coming out in September alone, so like, please try to give us a little bit of grace.
This is another
And-
dumb thing
and
of how
we're
dumb
old.
our industry is.
Yeah, we're old,
We want to avoid the release of GTA, so we're putting all 40 game releases in
That's right.
September.
Foolproof
Dumb are
plan,
you people.
folks.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of not E3, we did have one more press conference that happened a couple days after we recorded our last episode, the Nintendo Direct for June 2026. I'm going to go over some quick highlights here. I think there are some games that we are looking forward to more than other ones. First up was new Rhythm Heaven Groove. Not a lot to talk about on this one. It's a new Rhythm Heaven game. I'm just happy they're still making these. And I think it's great. July 2nd, 2026. That's just right around the corner. Surprisingly and unsurprisingly, Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen got an announcement during this. It will be coming to other platforms. People immediately start worrying, oh my god, it's only a Switch 2. No, they've said it's coming to other platforms. And it seems like they're just doing the same thing they did with the first one, where it's like, all right, our game has some problems. Let's put out a massive expansion called Dark Arisen.
No. The game didn't have some problems. They purposely chose to do this again.
I know it didn't have problems. The perception was that it had problems because people... It's a lot like Marathon. People don't want the friction of a game. The Dragon's Dogma games have a lot of friction. You're supposed to go out, and a bandit is supposed to jump off of a hill and one-shot you. And you go, okay, every time I run this way, there's a bandit up there. I should be ready for him.
Yeah, maybe learn from it.
Yeah, exactly. So there doesn't seem to be a ton of, like, hardcore information about this at the moment, other than here's a bunch of snowy stuff. There's new content and that sort of stuff. It's coming out October 9th, so it's not too far away for us to figure out what they're going to do with this, and then, if anything, like the first game's Dark Arisen expansion, what they'll do with the base game itself.
They did mention that they are removing the currency, the paid currency in the game.
Oh, that's right.
And they're giving you an infinite fast travel item now too.
Yeah, so it's going to have a lot of the original Dark Arisen quality of life stuff. But I recently played Dragon's Dogma 2, and I had seen that I could buy currency with real money, but I don't know what that currency was used for. Like,
it was used for the fast travel items.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Because, like, I never needed it, and I don't remember seeing a spot where it's like, hey, this is the auction house or the, the premium store.
Buy new gear, so traveler.
Either they did a really good job of not hitting you over the head with it, or it was just such a non-issue that even I'm like, I didn't see anything for it. So,
all right, well, that's coming out on October 9th, it says here. Next up, a game that's being published by Kepler Interactive. That's called Orbitals. It's an anime styled, it's like that Vivarium game we saw last week, a 90s anime sort of cell animation styled co-op adventure platforming game. If you've seen a lot of the stuff like It Takes Two, and what was the other game from that studio?
A Way Out.
Oh, the sci-fi,
Yeah, A Way Out, and then whatever that third one was. It's the like split screen co-op sort of thing that we've seen a lot from that studio. Looks very similar to that. So, at the moment, it's a Switch 2 exclusive, coming out on September 3rd. If it's Kepler are no idiots, it's probably going to come out in other stuff after 6 months to a year.
12-month exclusive.
Yeah, we've seen this thing before, so.
This is another one where it does 90s graphics, anime graphics really well.
It's really good.
And I was super disappointed when I saw that it was like that It Takes Two kind of game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really interest me at all.
I
It's
do
like,
not
that sucks.
like that the trailer has a timing-based platforming thing with bit while you're being chased.
Right.
I'm like, yeah. immediately boxes off a whole bunch of people I cannot play this game with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next up, we have Big Walk. This is the game from House, the developers of Untitled Goose Game.
I want it.
They announced this is also coming to Switch 2 on launch, and launch is now going to be August 4th, which I don't believe we had a release date.
Oh, that's so close.
Before. So yeah, this is super exciting. If anyone hasn't seen this before, it's the like proximity chat friend game where you're just kind of wandering around a huge area, potentially solving puzzles or just hanging out and having fun. So I think coming from this developer, I'm very curious to see what this is going to be once it comes out. But thankfully, not too far off. So that's Big Walk. Shockingly, let's talk about a One Piece game. One Piece Grand Gourmet is going to be coming out. Wasn't excited about this until I saw it's a Kairosoft game. And I thought,
yeah, it looks awesome.
Well, that's a game for a guy like me, someone who has interacted with zero One Piece stuff here. Kairosoft is just... Look, the best thing about Kairosoft is they just make the one game. It is all permutations of the one sort of simulation management thing. You're running a restaurant for One Piece stuff, and it's a Kairosoft game. Either that sounds like gibberish to you, or you're already racing off to pre-order on your mobile device of choice. There's really no in-between. If you haven't played a Kairosoft game, please go play Game Dev Story. It's incredible, and it's the best introduction to Kairosoft games whatsoever. That game's still really good. And I can't have it installed because I'll just keep playing it again. That's coming out October. Go ahead.
The whole podcast was just white noise for the past like 30 seconds from me. So if we could move it along, that would be great.
Yeah, don't need to get addicted to another Kairosoft game. That's coming out October 23rd. I've only seen on Switch 1 and Switch 2 at the moment. I doubt that's gonna, be the case forever. Next up, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave comes out on Switch 2 on September 17th. This is a positive, but so far this looks like a Fire Emblem game. The negative so far has been, it seems like the physical version of this game is going to be $80 US, which is a lot of dollars, and thanks to Nintendo, will probably never be cheaper, which is a continued problem. But I don't know, man. You kind of know what you're getting into with Fire Emblem games. These games are great, and they've been great for a really long time. And I'm sure this one has a new twist or some sort of unique mechanic. I don't know what it is. I just think they look cool. So, it's coming out September 17th. Shockingly, Xenoblade Chronicles, the trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, are getting Switch 2 versions. 4K 60 graphical upgrades. They look a lot better than the previous versions, kind of across the board. And they said each one of them is going to have new gameplay features. That's going to be different for each game, but it seems like they've kind of done a bunch, like we were talking about with Dark Arisen, it's going to be a bunch of quality of life stuff across the board. That is coming.
They make it so that you can get Cosmos and Xenosaga and Xenoblade 2 from the gacha system.
I feel like they mentioned something about that, because I think that's the first question everyone's going to ask. They're like, hey, can I get Cosmos?
If you don't understand how much of a pain that was, go look up a video for how to make the odds in your favor for the potential of getting
for the mere chance.
She has a 1% ratio. It's garbage.
So
I'm still mad at Mina.
The Switch 2 version of the first Xenoblade Chronicles is out right now. Part 2 is coming out July 30th, and Part 3 is December 3rd. And physical versions of those are kind of coming out at other, sort of like delayed by a little bit. But it looks like each one of those are going to have physical versions as well. So if you haven't played those are great games too. And then alongside that, they announced a brand new one, Xenoblade Genesis, which has a whole trailer here that kind of doesn't tell a whole bunch of stuff, but it shows enough to say, like,
weird.
Yeah, and it's like, we're working on it, and we're we're far enough in to not just show like a CG trailer or whatever. So they're stressing it's a brand new game. They're saying it's coming out in 2027, and that's kind of about it for the moment. But they're working on more Xenoblade, which is great. We need more JRPGs.
And the only reason why I say it's kind of weird is because it's medieval setting and you're in an academy. Like, it almost feels like Fire Emblem.
Right.
In a weird way.
Yeah, it's like Xenoblade Three Houses. Like, very different.
And I'm kind of curious. They talk a lot about anima, which is a really big thing in Xenosaga, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I think it was Saga.
So I'm wondering if we're going to get kind of a Star Ocean thing, where it's like you start out in this medieval world, because there's like a lot of weird stuff that happens. It looks like you're in a sphere. In a weird way.
How soon do you go to space? 40, 50 hours
exactly.
in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's coming out sometime in 2027. Square Enix announced Final Fantasy Resonance, which is a brand new HD 2D game. I thought a lot of this stuff looked familiar, but they're taking a lot of characters and hopefully a lot of the story elements from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which is a mobile game I played for a really long time, and the story didn't start out great, but eventually got to a really fascinating place. That was doing some really cool stuff. So like Rain, Laswell, and a bunch of other of the main characters are main characters in this.
Was that the rhythm game?
No, that was Theater Rhythm. Brave Exvius was just a gacha game. Like it was kind of a standard
gacha game based off of the old Final Fantasies, basically.
Yeah,
like the old sprite base.
Yeah, it was like a return to the crystals for the fourth time. So
where you can get Ariana Grande at one point.
You
which
could,
I got
for
that
sure.
pulse.
She was a pretty strong unit. I gotta give her some
She
credit.
was.
Yeah, she put in the work. I know a lot of people have been saying, like, oh my god, they're going back to the well with classic Final Fantasy characters. Square Enix has come out and said, like, yeah, they're like end game support characters. Like, it's not like anything else where it's like Rain and Laswell are wandering around with Cloud and his Buster Sword. Like, those are like end game kind of fun units. So we'll see when it comes out, but this looks pretty cool. I think it looks pretty neat. I liked Rain and Laswell and all them from the game, so we'll see. That's coming out October 22nd for apparently everything at this point. So, okay, two more quick ones. Kingdom Hearts 4. They announced, first off, they announced all of the previous Kingdom Hearts games, with the exception of the mobile one, blah, 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 you already know the story, are coming out to Switch 2. They're no longer the cloud versions, because who would have guessed it? That was a bad idea. So if you want to start the Kingdom Hearts stuff, that's got all of the collections of all the games there. And then they showed a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. A bunch of mood setting, a bunch of combat stuff. It looks like
this is our second trailer now?
Yeah, the first one was like a real short,
like a real quick one.
Like 15, 30-second thing. A lot of this is like a lot of Organization 13 people just being like, what is the nature of light and dark? And it's like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Okay, I get it. I'm already sold.
The concept of magic didn't exist until we came into this world.
That's right.
It's like, all right, chill.
It's like, okay, you brought light and darkness to Tokyo. I get it. Sure thing. Okay. I mean, I'm already gonna play it, so like, stop drilling. But the only thing they said was Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming to Switch 2 day and date at launch. When is that launch going to be? That's a great question. We're not answering questions.
One would hope that a major release would come day and date to Switch.
You would hope, but it's still not a guarantee, especially for Square Enix. That still looks great. We're seeing more of it. I'm waiting for them to announce a release date so I can figure out what games I missed in between Kingdom Hearts 3 and 4 and then catch up on those. Because I think it's Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind and then that mobile thing. But there's probably 6 other games hiding in the wings.
Yeah, and they're doing a new collection as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll have it all.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, the collection will have it all if you want to start there. It's really good. And then last but not least, they had a trailer for the Ocarina of Time remake that they just announced, coming to Switch 2 later this year, is all they had announced.
I need to Switch too.
Yeah, this is like the everything important you need to know is in the sentence I just said. They showed virtually nothing from the game here other than
is
tapestries and
crazy,
stuff.
considering that they're saying, "Oh yeah, it's going to come out later this year." Then why did we just get only this?
I feel like they didn't even need to show this. They could have shown the logo of like
Yeah, they
Ocarina of Time remake, Switch 2 2026, and that would have just done the same thing. Like people would have been like falling all over themselves for this game of all of them.
But like Link does look good in what we did see of him in this.
Yeah.
Dude, the tapestry set that you're looking at looks really good. Like,
yeah. So
I would be down for doing a remake or playing a remake.
I'm like the only one that doesn't want this to happen.
If Navi doesn't say hey and listen a million times, I'm gonna be
oh no, that
very
needs to still be in there. Or else you don't get the original experience.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not the biggest Ocarina of Time fan.
It's been long enough since Ocarina that this makes sense.
Yeah, because the last Ocarina was on 3DS. So
and that wasn't even that much of an upgrade, to be honest. That was hey, now you can use the little thumb stylus to do the
switch to the iron boots in the water temple. Like that was the biggest quality of life for that one. But I don't know. I'm curious. I don't like Ocarina of Time, but I'm really curious to see what they're going to do to modernize this game, if anything at all. They will probably touch the water temple. That's kind of the thing you need to work on. Everything else you could probably leave the same and just make look really good, and people will.
They have to work on their economy system. Like every Legend of Zelda game, collecting rupees has always been kind of useless. Like especially in Ocarina of Time, like there was no real reason. You bought the Hyrule Shield the one time, and that was it.
Right.
You didn't really need money for anything else.
Right.
But quick question for you, Boston. Were you a Mario 64 person?
I mean, Mario 64 is great. Look, Ocarina of Time is a great game. I just don't like it. I don't think it's the best Zelda game.
Nothing against you.
Yeah.
It's just anytime I hear someone say, "Yeah, I don't like Ocarina of Time," it's like, is it because you really like Mario 64? And that tends to be one.
I just think that there are. I think it's the middle of the road Zelda game in the rankings. I think there are a bunch of Zelda games that are worse than it. See, almost everything that got released on the 2DS and the 3DS. And I think there are a bunch of other Zelda games that are better than it. I think it's just fine. And I think I don't fault people to say it's the best Zelda game. I don't think that's true. I think if it's your favorite Zelda game, I think that makes sense. But like, there are a bunch of other Zelda games that I like a lot more than this game. This one is just fine. But I get why people like it.
I am fine with this because this is very much the Capcom approach of, hey, it's been 18 years.
Yeah.
We're not doing a remaster, we're doing a remake.
Exactly.
From the ground up.
Yep.
Full remake. And to be honest, if this leads to a remake of the Strange Wolf one, and then Skyward Sword, and Wind Waker,
no, they need to do Majora's Mask after those.
Sure, do that one too.
Yeah, even that too. Like if it leads to that same thing of like in 3 years we get the 20th anniversary version of Majora's Mask, I'm fine with that because eventually we'll be looking at a Switch 3 version of Wind Waker, which is going to look incredible.
Yeah. That's a good point. Like, if they were saying, like, we're remaking Tears of the Kingdom, it's like, what are you even talking about? Like, that's just... No. That is a very good point. Like, it is an N64 game that got a 3DS
It's also why I'm fine with the Star Fox remake. Like, give 100%. Me that too, please.
Yeah, remake Star Fox. Like, it would be great if you would also make a brand new one, but, you know, we've talked about this a lot of like having these classic games be more accessible to people that didn't play them or weren't alive when these games came out first. Like, people can sit here and say Ocarina of Time is one of the best Zelda games and one of the best games of all time. And it's like, okay, how do I play it? And it's like, well, be born 20 years ago. Like, it's just, it's not realistic. So I'm not gonna
While we're,
poo-poo that.
I was saying, while we're doing remakes, F-Zero is just sitting there waiting patiently.
F-Zero is the skeleton at the bottom of the lake. Like it just, yeah. Anyways, that's all of the highlights of the showcase there at the Nintendo Direct. We've been going for over 2.5 hours. We're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. We were talking about the Final Fantasy V Forza Fiesta earlier. We have a dedicated channel for that on the Discord server at discord.tvgp.tv. There are way more people playing it this year than any of the other years before. So if you're someone who's played it a bunch in the past and you want to hang out with other people playing it, or if you're like a lot of people in the community that are playing it for the very first time, don't forget it's on Game Pass right now, the Pixel Remaster version. Then you can hop in there. We'll show you how to play it. We'll guide you through. We'll help you if you get stuck. All of that good stuff. So go join the Discord server over there. Go ahead, Nib.
Maybe scroll down a little further in the help section of the Forza Fiesta webpage.
Yeah.
I was literally one scroll away from having my question answered.
Yeah, the help page on the Forza Fiesta website is really good, but it's maybe not laid out in the most natural way. Near the bottom of the page, they have a sample party layout for, like, if you get this job at the Wind Crystal, here's how many people need to be this job, and going through each crystal. It does a really good job. It's just kind of in a bad spot. Don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/E1M1 or E1M1.cash.
Those ones are the numerical digits 1.
$5 a month is a recommended tier. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated. If you can't support us over there, the best way to support the show, you can like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitch. We live stream on both of those platforms every Sunday at 2:30-ish Pacific. One of the best ways is to rate us positively on your podcatcher of choice. That helps not only this show, but any podcast you listen to of any size. That stuff really, really helps for recommending people this show, especially based on, you're listening to this show, you might like these shows, and maybe TVGP will show up on there. So that's a really great way to help this show and any show you listen to and you like. Don't leave negative reviews. That's the end of the sentence. Just don't leave negative reviews. It's fine. If you don't like a podcast, that's fine. Just
Get
delete it.
joy in your heart.
Yeah, or just delete the podcast and move on with your day. That's fine too. You just do that. All right, that's the end of our episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Boy.
Bye.
All right, Nimp, what are your titles?
I only have 3,
Okay.
and they are: It's 0 or 5, Lack of the One Road, and Got My Slots On.
Okay. Moon, what do you have?
Le Poop and 60, Ups and Downs, The Mercy Rule, 670 out of 671, so 670/671. Ridiculous, open brackets, complimentary, close brackets. Double Fisting the Slots, The Famous Biblical Parable, and The End of Destiny 2, and Squitch.
Squid. I have and 60. Someone shot my mouth off. Frenemy of the show. Shenanigans are afoot. And 670 out of 671. There's something about the sentence, someone shot my mouth off, that sounds
it is very us.
really good. I also like Frenemy of the show quite a bit, but I'm not really married to any of them. Those are the two that I feel the strongest about.
Like, honestly, we could do ridiculous open brackets complimentary and then release 3 shirts, because that would be the 3rd show title in that format.
I know. That's why I don't really want to pick it. It's because I don't want to, like, settle into a rut about titles.
No, I know. It's fine. If you want to do frenemy of the show or someone shut my mouth off, that's fine too.
I kind of like someone shot my mouth off a little bit more. I feel like it's a punchier title.
Okay.
That's fine.
Circling it.
When I'm ready.
I am ready.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 973 for June 15th, 2026. Someone shot my mouth off.
That's why you treat every weapon as if it's loaded.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening and watching. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Bye.